Yo, what's platinum? It's your neighborhood nerd thug. We're talking about the Six of Hearts. Yeah, I'm bringing the 90s back. It's only me. I'm the only one doing it with the pop collar. I'm missing the puka shells. Big shouts out to Jonesy setting up this video. So let's get into it. The Six of Hearts. So six is the double trinity. The divine is reflected in the human number six. It is a card of stability. It is a card of order. It stands for beauty. In the law of one, it's also the Christ principle. So that of ruling the Piscean era, astrologically speaking, the Piscean era of sacrifice is ruled by the Six of Hearts. These people are aware of the law of love. They are aware of how their decisions have an equal and opposite reaction from their environment. They don't really like boredom, monotony, but they can get into those ruts. Remember, all sixes are karma. So they don't get away with almost anything in regards to initiating force upon another. This six they can be very stubborn, but they can also be very stable because there's a stabilizing influence. And it's not like the four, where four is very stable when it comes to emotional resilience. Sixes are more harmonizing, where they're stabilizing for even other people. They have extra energy for other people. They don't have difficulties making money. They might be worried that they won't have enough to be satisfied when it comes to money, but they have everything they need up here, in their medulla oblongata to really be a force for good for their families, for themselves. And like I said, they can get stuck in ruts if they don't act out of their true self, because every six has a mission. And yeah, it sounds cliche, oh, well, everyone has a purpose, everyone has a mission, but sixes, just their mission is so much louder, their inner voice for the mission for they have in this life. There's no room to operate in any way other than that specific mission. It has to get done. It has to be a mission that is to spread higher truth to the world, or a mission that has to do with the quality of life for others. They have a lot of charm. They have a lot of intellectual capabilities. And hearts, because again, hearts is the beginning. It's dealing with love, dealing with family, dealing with emotion. You don't really always expect them to be so intellectually shrewd, but they do have that gift. Nobody can really sweep them off their feet. They're very sturdy when it comes to their convictions, and they understand emotionally what it takes to be with another person. That give and take, they're intimately connected with the as you give, so shall you receive. As you receive, so shall you give. Property, treating others, the golden rule, treating others like you wish to be treated. They fully are aware of that, because life will pound them quick. Like if they don't reciprocate, and if they go into those creditable or discreditable bypaths, they can be unhappy for longer periods of time than others, because those ruts, again, they're the only ones that can get them out of the rut. That's why they need to cultivate a natural diplomatic approach to life, where they can traverse their environment by being that harmonizing influence for others. And that's when they're truly in their path, combined with the right field that is an emotional field, or something where they can, you'd be like a counselor, or something like somebody that has the ability to be a mediator, where they're stabilizing energies of other conflicting energies in their environment. It's going to kind of come through them. They're sort of like a conduit or a catalyst, and they have the ability to transmute that energy into something positive, simply because of just the nature of how they are. That is like their gift. That is like and that could be part of their mission, that inner voice that they have to listen to so much. So it all depends on how it's handled by the person of this card. But again, I'm going to state that law of love is that foundational, almost like pizza, of how they operate, because they can be fixed in their ideas. They don't really like changes that much. They're usually successful when they apply their mental prowess to different fields, and emotional stabilizing forces to different fields, because they can sometimes be afraid, oh, I don't have enough, right? I'm not, because those sixes that get stuck in ruts and emotionally they feel like, oh, I don't have enough. But almost always the worry makes no sense in the end, because they ended up completing the mission. They ended up doing what they were supposed to do. That's if they're aligned positively. If they're aligned negatively, they could be disruptive, like other sixes. They could be unhappy because they feel like there's this unfulfilled yearning urge to do something or accomplish something, but they're getting in their own way. They're blocking their own blessing, so to speak. And so if that's what happens, if they miss that super essential realization of their like 100% definitive purpose, if they miss that, they can be like some of the most selfish people. And that's where, like where we say, oh, what's good and evil, or what's love and hate, right? And this is a good time to talk about these topics, because a lot of people feel like the opposite of love is hate, but it's not. The opposite of love is actually indifference. If you think about it carefully, if you love someone, you accept them as part of yourself, right? That's like in my opinion, the truest meaning of love. If you don't, and I'll reiterate this in future videos, but if you don't accept someone as part of yourself, then okay, you don't love them. But if you hate them, you still have some sort of energy toward them. And if that person doesn't like you, or whatever the dynamic or the drama is, if you're hating someone, you're putting energy towards them. They're either receiving it or they're not, or you're angry, you're fighting. You feel something towards them, so you don't know what it is sometimes, and so that can still technically be interpreted as love, right? Like that's where the concept love having haters, or love your haters, or all that stuff comes from. However, if you're literally unequivocally indifferent about someone, then you don't care what happens to them. You could care less because they don't operate in your framework. That is the true opposite of love. And the Six of Hearts can be capable of feeling indifferent towards people if they're not realized, or they're not effectively engaged on their path. So love, hate, the opposite of love is indifference. What is true evil, right? What is evil? And if you really think about it, and this is a good time to talk about this as well. Evil isn't necessarily the presence of darker energies, or it's selfishness. It's very simple. Evil is the most selfish an entity, so to speak, can be, or a selfish energy. It comes from envy. It comes from a multitude of different discreditable bypaths. We've already said that, but selfishness is the ultimate expression of what evil really is. And if you look at, like all the political turmoil that's going on, a lot of it can be narrowed down to a point of selfish behavior in either an individual or a group of individuals. And so when you have the realization of that purpose in life as a Six of Hearts, then you can drop that lack of initiative. You can drop that lack of a desire to fulfill, and you can gain almost the world. You're able to be that catalyst. You're able to be that conduit. You're able to be that harmonizing, stabilizing force for good. And you're dealing with love, order, beauty, perfection. You're dealing with the concepts of karma and positively expressed, reciprocated karma. So I think that kind of sums it up. I mean, what are we at time-wise for this video? It's perfect timing. What you think? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, man. All right, cool, man. Shouts out to the 90s, bringing it back. You know what I'm saying? I have not worn this hat ever in my life, so hey, subscribe or something like that. Ooh, sheesh.